Today is the 30th anniversary for the Pokemon series. Pokemon Red and Pokemon Green released on this day in Japan 30 years ago. And yeah, every year the Pokemon Company tends to celebrate it in many different ways, new games, merch, whatever it may be. This time around, it was a little different because it's more of a milestone anniversary, the 30th anniversary. And you know what? I think I can say I can feel the Pokemon Company kind of bringing me back in. I absolutely love the fact that they re-released Pokemon FireRed and Pokemon Leaf Green, though they are digital-only releases, and there is no physical edition planned, or I don't think one will release at all, which is fine. I do still own my cartridge for Pokemon FireRed, but it's nice to just have it very accessible on my Switch. And something that is really cool, they included the Mystic ticket and the Aurora ticket after you finish the Elite Four, which, if you didn't know, those were previous event Pokemon that were distributed in events during the mid-2000s, a little after Pokemon Fire Red had come out. And yeah, it was very difficult to try and participate in that as a kid, so I remember hearing about it and it being a thing, and obviously I don't have the resources as a child to go to a retailer or to make that happen. In some cases, you'd have to go to like a Toys R Us, GameStop, whatever it may be, and bring your cartridge with you. And they would then give you a trade that you would receive that mon because they had a cart that stored it. That's just one way, but it was essentially, it was a little more involved years ago, where now you can it's just completely digital, and you can just go into the menu on your copy of Pokemon Scarlet or Violet, or go to your local GameStop, and sometimes they will give you the code cards that you can enter. So yeah, that is super cool. I'm very, very hyped on that. I am feeling the nostalgia. I have grown up with this series, with the highs and the lows, and I've been more in the lows as of recent. I think Pokemon Legends Arceus was the last Pokemon game that I really thoroughly enjoyed and got that feeling that captured my imagination that Pokemon games would tend to give me. Before that, it was Pokemon Sun. So yeah, it's been pretty rocky. I wasn't a huge fan of Ultra Sun just due to fatigue, and it really felt way too much of the same thing, even though it did pack a ton of new content with Rainbow Rocket and the Ultra Dimension stuff where you could catch all these legendary Pokemon. And then Sword and Shield came out, and I was kind of just like, on those. I didn't come back to Sword until a few months after it was out. Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, I did enjoy. I thought they looked pretty good, and I think they were just okay. I mean, we were going back to Kanto again, but you know what? I will always enjoy that trip to Kanto. I'm not a Gen 1er, but I do love me some Gen 1, and I love the music, I love the aesthetic, I love the towns, I love the Pokemon. Am I going to say Let's Go Eevee and Let's Go Pikachu were great? No, but they were just fun for what they were. And I still wouldn't even say they got me kind of back into the series as much as I was previously. I just enjoyed them. And then after that, we had Sword and Shield, which, I did end up coming back to a few months after and enjoyed it to some degree. Legends Arceus was really fun. That gripped me, and I had a great time with that. Shining Pearl, Brilliant Diamond, they were so-so. I do love me some Sinnoh as well. And you know what? They were okay. They were just pretty straightforward remakes. I know a lot of people did not enjoy those. Then after that, we had Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, which that's where I really just kind of... And it's not to say that they were bad, because as games, they really weren't bad, but I hate to say it, the truth of the matter is they just ran very poorly on base Switch, Switch Lite, and Switch OLED. A ton of pop-in, textures just look so bland, and it was so bad it was distracting. It was really just distracting, so I stopped playing. And then it wasn't until the Switch 2 came out, and they had a Switch 2 edition that you could update if you had the Switch 2. Then I went back in, finished the DLCs, and it was okay. It's just a bummer because once I was done with it, I realized I would have had so much more fun with the game if they just could have not released it in that state, because it was bad. I mean, I'm not a huge graphics guy or graphics snob or anything like that, but it was just plain bad. But anyway, it came, it went. I felt very mixed on it. Then we just had Pokemon Legends ZA, and very so-so for me. Very so-so. I thought it was just okay. I think performance-wise, it was a lot better. The Switch 2 edition looked, pretty good. It was I love what they did with how they changed the battling formula up. That was fun, but the gameplay loop was really repetitive. The story was okay. Really, towards the end, it had some really cool moments that I enjoyed. Though I do feel like they should have included voice acting. And normally, I actually don't mind Pokemon games not having it, but it was just really odd how some things happened in the end. It definitely seemed like there should have been voice acting to really amplify what was happening during that last few hours. I'm not really sure why they didn't incorporate that, but so it was very so-so for me. But now with the 30th anniversary here, we do have Pokemon FireRed and Leaf Green, which I have already purchased and downloaded, and already going back into the Kanto region, having a ton of fun with Pokemon FireRed. Absolutely adore these games. So I think it was good for me to kind of get back in, re-experience a game that I'm very passionate about, and that kind of got me to open the door. Then we had the Pokemon Presents today. And you know what? I am feeling very optimistic on Pokemon Winds and Waves. I think it made a better first impression than Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, that's for sure. I think it made a better first impression than Pokemon Legends Arceus. I think that as of now, it looks pretty good. Not great, not terrible. Obviously, assets don't look super good. Textures don't look super good. Quality is not that great. But the world is more lush, more colorful, more vibrant. It is not as bland and just like flat and it has more life to it. It looks a little more fleshed out, which realistically, that's kind of all I want. I don't need these character models that look super crazy. I don't need, like cutting edge graphics, but like give me a fun, fleshed out, colorful world full of Pokemon. And so far, it does look it looks like it's in a much better direction than what we saw when Scarlet and Violet had their first trailer. So I am feeling optimistic. I want to say I'm getting excited, but I don't know if I want to say that yet. I think the starters look pretty cool. I also love how they did not show the legendaries. So that was cool to kind of a little ambiguous about that, and we'll have to obviously wait and see. But that was cool because we're so used to seeing those as well early on. And so the fact that we didn't, that was awesome. I like that they just kind of, hey, this is a very, very small teaser of what's to come. It is also releasing in 2027, which is interesting. Meaning that maybe there's another Pokemon-related release this year. I mean, we have Pokemon Pokopia next month. We have Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green that just came out. We have Pokemon Champions that's coming out in April. But yeah, there could be another something that comes out this year. But yeah, I'm hyped, man. I'm feeling good. I love the fact that they have Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green out and available on Switch and Switch 2. Younger kids can jump into these games and have a blast with them. I'm certainly going to enjoy them. I'm feeling optimistic with Winds and Waves. I think what I'm going to do is try not to pay much attention to Winds and Waves. I think I'm going to stay out of the rumor mill. I'm going to kind of, whatever official trailers that the Pokemon Company releases, maybe I'll watch some of those, but I kind of want to go in blind, I kind of want that same feeling I had as a kid when you'd see the trailer on TV and then the game was just out and you would go and play it and you'd discover all these things about it. I kind of want to enjoy that feeling again and not really, get caught up in the rumor mill or the news cycle of this and that, is this and there. I kind of just want to kind of, go on like a blackout for it. And when it comes out, I'll experience everything that it has to offer. And like I said, maybe I'll watch some official trailers that the Pokemon Company or Nintendo releases, but I think less is going to be more when it comes to information for that. So yeah, thank you guys for listening to me ramble on for however long I have been. Enjoy the 30th anniversary for Pokemon if you've been playing since its inception, if you just started playing, if you've been playing for a few years. It's been a great series. I personally have been playing Pokemon since before I was in kindergarten, I believe. I had Pokemon Yellow, so it's definitely a series that's stuck with me for a long time. And so yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.